routes, and you folks are in line. Again, we mentioned if you know or are listening to us traveling right now on Interstate 80 out of the metro, get off and say you're eastbound, get off and let the storm pass through. If you're heading westbound, say out of Anawan, get off because this thing is going to be crossing Interstate 80. Also, Route 6 goes through Geneseo over towards Anawan. Those roads you want to be careful on. Also here on, let's see here, what is this, 82, Route 82, heads up there too. But we continue with the circulation here, very close to North 1500th Avenue is where we're seeing that circulation now.
And we're going to continue to keep a close eye on it. Luckily, it doesn't look like a tight circulation, but nonetheless a circulation with confirmation of a lowering in portions of Henry County as this storm continues to really cause some major issues here now with the confirmation of some golf ball size hail. And we also have some photos that some of our viewers have been sending in. And this is one photo here out of Orion. So looks like that is about the size of golf balls there. She's got some sort of ball there that is indicative. Looks like that's a golf ball. So yeah, about golf ball size hail out of Orion. And this is the same storm rather that is moving off into portions of Henry County. So if you are in the Geneseo area, this is what's likely coming to you. Atkinson, this is what just moved through the Orion area. So that photo was taken moments ago, what you just saw of the golf ball size hail. So again, this tornado warning not only has the threat of a tornado, but it also has that threat of large hail and some damaging wind gusts. So again, if you are in this tornado warned part of the storm, even the severe thunderstorms, you want to go to the lowest level of your home. Of course, the best place to be during any sort of tornado or severe weather situation is going to be the basement, but we understand that many people may not have a basement. So anywhere in green, that's a good place to go. A hallway, maybe a staircase away from windows, a bathroom, anywhere without windows is going to be the best place to be. And you want to stay, really put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Take something to cover your head just in case there is flying debris with this tornado warning. So again, no tornado has been confirmed, but we continue with the potential for that rotation just to the west of Geneseo, southwest of Geneseo.
If we take a look, we'll take a look at radar here, full screen, and kind of look at the wide view. You can see this line here tracking from the Savannah area all the way down into the Peoria region. Embedded in this line, we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but the biggest concern continues to be this tornado warning for Henry County. This is in effect until 4 o'clock. You can see there, if your community is on the map here, shelter now. Again, Geneseo, the heaviest of the hail and rain is now making its way into Geneseo. We've had reports of golf ball sized hail out in the Orion area, getting a lot of pictures and reports in. We appreciate those. Atkinson, getting your shelter now. Eventually up towards the Hoople area, you're not in the warning officially, but this storm is going to continue to trek your way. Moving down the line here too, there's a storm near the Galesburg area that we want to watch. There is a warning in effect here for northwestern Knox County. And you can see it's a little concerning there. We don't have the tag that says tornado possible, so that's good news. But seeing a lot of lightning there from Henderson down towards Galesburg, moving through 74, eventually off towards let's see here, Watauga, and then Oneida, and then eventually off towards the Galva area, moving into parts of Kewanee eventually as well. So this whole complex really starting to come together here in Knox County, Henry County. So we might be kind of transitioning maybe into a more damaging wind threat. I don't know, Kyle, if we're still seeing that rotation there, but he's putting a track on this. You can see this whole line pretty much from the northern part of our viewing area to the south is severe warned. So you folks in Sterling Rock Falls, you've got top of the hour, you need to be in shelter by then because that's going to be moving through Mount Morris here at 410, Dixon area 415, 413, 415, Princeton here about 423, and eventually off into the Chicagoland area into Rochelle. So here, this line, this is going to kind of be the focal point moving forward. So from Knox County up towards Henry County into Whiteside, Carroll, and then also into just clipping Joe Davies County. Severe thunderstorm warnings, and then again, that tornado warning here into Henry County. That goes, that warning in effect until 4 o'clock, and we continue to see maybe some circulation, but it does look like it might be going a little more linear or more of a damaging wind threat, which would certainly be a good thing here. So we want to continue to watch that. But all these storms have the potential to produce large hail and even destructive hail in some cases. Getting a lot of reports of golf ball sized hail with this. So that'll certainly do some damage to a vehicle, no doubt.
And it looks like we have that rotation between Geneseo and Atkinson, likely about to cross over Interstate 80 onto Route 6. So again, we're not really looking at much in the way of any tight circulation in here. The rotation is very broad here. What we're looking at is the winds inside the storm. We call this velocity. So the winds that are going toward the radar site in Davenport, those are that's the area in green. The winds going away from the radar site are the areas in red. So we want to see a tight couplet together, which would indicate that rotation. And we're not quite seeing that tight couplet, but we do see maybe a little bit of broad rotation just south of Geneseo, right around Interstate 80. Right there around North 1800th Avenue and East 1500th Street. So again, this is a tornado warned storm here that goes until 4 o'clock here for portions of Henry County. And we're continuing with that tornado watch here for a good chunk of the TV6 viewing area. And as we mentioned earlier, as this cold front kind of moves eastward, our severe weather threat's going to come to an end. So Muscatine, Burlington, Mount Pleasant, Keokuk, you are in the clear. We still have that tornado watch in effect for the metro quad cities and points off to the east here until 8 o'clock. But again, this tornado watch tornado watch, not warning, this tornado watch until 8 o'clock will continue to get shaved away here as these storms move east and the cold front clears the area. So again, the tornado warning for portions of Henry County does go until 4 o'clock as we continue to get at least some broad signs of rotation within that storm. But we also continue with those severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll take you north to south here. We have this portion of Carroll and Whiteside County with a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, the main threats out of this are going to be quarter-size hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And you see that threat tag of a tornado possible. So we'll kind of get closer here to give you some of the towns that are in the path of this. This storm is right over the Chadwick area. Lanark getting hammered with some heavy rain. The strongest part of the storm is moving in here as we speak. So again, this part of the line has the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We also want to go south of Geneseo as we have southern Henry County in a separate warning for a severe thunderstorm right over Woodhall. Could be getting some hail as well as some very strong wind, and we're also watching for that potential of a tornado.
Okay, new update from our friends over at the Storm Prediction Center. They are saying that they are going to continue to watch this storm system, these complexes, and the biggest concern for them is that as these continue to track to the east, the threat might increase because we are continuing to see a better environment, more what we call shear, which just means winds turning at different directions with height. So something that we want to continue to be concerned with. So downstream here, you folks in Bureau County, up towards eastern Whiteside County, and eventually kind of up the road here, all throughout the eastern part of the TV6 viewing area, heads up because this will continue to organize, something we want to continue to watch. Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, Kyle.
So it looks like this is going to be an extension on this tornado warning. This is for the potential of golf ball size hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds for portions of Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County. So this includes Anawan, Hoople, up toward the Tampico area, New Bedford. So if you're in these areas, golf ball size hail is likely. And we actually have a picture of some of that hail that has fallen in this storm. This is out of Geneseo. Thanks so much to our viewers who've been sending in the photos here. This is that picture of the golf ball size hail. And again, we have a very unstable environment. So as these storms are growing, we're able to get this really large hail. So that's the kind of hail that you could expect if you live in Atkinson, up toward Hoople, and as well as New Bedford. So this is the same storm that we're keeping a close eye on for that potential of a tornado as that tornado warning continues until 4 o'clock. So I'll put a track here on the core of the storm. This will be in Hoople around 4:07, Tampico at 4:21, Deer Grove at 4:26, and the Walnut area right around 4:31. So that warning, that new severe thunderstorm warning does go until 4:15 for portions of Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County, likely an extension to that tornado warning that we have going on right around the Geneseo area. So that tornado warning, by the way, continues until 4 o'clock. So we will be with you until at least 4 o'clock for this tornado warning. And if the conditions warrant for this to be extended, we will, of course, be on air with you. But it looks like that tornado threat is just going to be to the east of Geneseo, just north of Interstate 80, right around East 1900th Street.
I was just going to say, Kyle, looking at some other products here, and right just to the east of Geneseo, really starting to see that tighten up. And a new update here, really that circulation really getting stronger there. So we want to continue to watch that here. There again, this severe thunderstorm warning that has been extended to include Anawan and Hoople, and then eventually again off into parts of here into Bureau County, northwestern Bureau County. We want to watch that, but also we still have circulation being indicated on radar very near Atkinson. So if you're in Atkinson right now, take shelter now. But the biggest thing too, I think right now, what we're going to see a lot of damage from is this hail.
Yeah.
We're getting still lots of reports of a golf ball sized hail in the Geneseo area. Also getting reports of maybe even a little bit bigger sized hail. Somebody said baseball sized hail just to the north of Geneseo as well. So continue to watch that, and again, we don't want to minimize here. The threat is still there for some tornadic activity, again, near the Atkinson area, just to the north of Interstate 80.
And again, this has had a history now of producing the golf ball size hail. So while we are very concerned about that tornado threat, we've not had any observations of it, but we have had some reports of anywhere from quarter to golf ball size hail in the Geneseo area. So just got another report about a minute ago of some quarter size hail in Geneseo. So the hail amounts will vary, but nonetheless, this storm has been indicative of producing that hail. And again, the potential of a tornado now just to the east of Geneseo. Again, nothing confirmed, no reports of damage, but we are very concerned between Geneseo and Atkinson for a tornado with that rotation right now near East 1900th Street. So again, we do have a history, as I mentioned, of this storm producing the hail. Right now, that hail core is right along Highway 6, Route 6, near Geneseo. And again, this really started producing hail out toward Orion. Yeah, we have another viewer photo for you of the hail that was in Orion. Looks like that's about quarter size hail. Again, if you have any reports, you can send those our way through our news app or our website, KWQC.com. We would love to pass those along, as long as you can do it safely. We don't want a picture of the tornado. We got storm chasers out there for that. We want you all to be safe. So again, that tornado warning does continue here for Henry County until 4 o'clock, and we continue that severe thunderstorm warning, that new one out for Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County until 4:15. That's for considerable damage. We're talking that potential for up to golf ball size hail possible here. So if you're in the Hoople area, you're about to get pounded with this storm as it continues to move off to the east and northeast at about 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, and here's the thing with this storm, it's still a very strong and destructive storm with that hail. Again, folks, we got to watch this because we're talking golf ball sized hail, and we've had an array of hail reports. And you could see the core of it kind of went more north of Geneseo proper, so somewhere to watch there. But rotation continues. The thing is, they're going to expire this tornado warning for now, but we're still seeing some circulation. It's broad. It's not so much tight, like we saw a couple weeks ago. You knew where those tornadoes were. But what we're seeing now, we could tell that, there's some circulation there, but it's broad. It's not as organized, and that's some good news for now. But we want to continue to watch this. That tornado warning continues here for parts of Henry County until 4 o'clock. Still includes the Geneseo area, but the threat is now for the tornado part is now to the east of Geneseo. Still Atkinson area. You should be in your shelters. And that does look a little ominous there as we got what we've got here. And what we're looking at when we show this, it looks like a Christmas tree, but what it is you got the greens represent winds moving towards the radar site in the Quad Cities. The reds are winds rushing out. So when we see this inflow, and then you got this red wind moving away from the radar right here, when you get those lighter colors, it means there's stronger winds starting to match up to each other. That indicates that we have circulation. That's what we're seeing here, and that's why that tornado warning continues here until 4 o'clock. So again, Atkinson on to the north right now. So again, along and north of I-80, that is the area of circulation. Here's the other thing, folks. Our spotters out there have given up on this because the area of circulation is wrapped up into this. You're not going to be able to see it. If there is a tornado there, it'll be on top of you by the time it hits you. It's going to be so wrapped in heavy rain and hail, there's nothing to see. So do not go out and try to chase this thing because, again, it could be wrapped in rain. So Hoople and eventually off towards the Walnut area here in northwestern Bureau County, up towards Tampico, Prophetstown. Heads up as this storm continues to track off to the northeast.
All right, so control room, just a heads up, we're about 6 minutes or so away from 4 o'clock. As Kyle mentioned, this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire in Geneseo, but do not let your guard down because in portions of Henry, northwestern Bureau County, and southeastern Whiteside County, this storm is still producing the possibility of golf ball size hail. So we're going to continue on at the top of the hour with our 4 o'clock news. And of course, Kyle and I are going to continue to keep you updated, and we'll break in as warranted. But we're still seeing a little bit of broad rotation here in portions of Henry County. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this storm as we continue to see maybe signs of a little bit of rotation here right around the Atkinson area.
Road, yeah.
So we need to watch this very carefully. Just because the tornado warning is being allowed to expire, this severe thunderstorm warning still has that tag of a tornado possible.
Right.
So, you know, as we've been seeing with this storm, it kind of cycles, maybe producing a little bit of that lower level rotation and then going up as well.
Let's, if you could, Kyle, let's go, we'll take a broad view here and kind of give everybody, we've been focused on this tornado warning here in Henry County. We've got a whole line of activity here from Savannah down through Clinton, again, down here in Henry County, all the way down to Knox County. So from Galesburg up to the Freeport area is where we have this, essentially this line of activity of all sorts of embedded junk in it. We've got hail reports down in the Galesburg area. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Good news is Galesburg, you're out of the threat now. And once these storms pass through, I'd like to mention this as well. Clinton, Quad Cities, Aledo, Kirkwood, down towards Burlington, the threat is over. Severe weather threat is over for the night. This is it, folks. This is moving through. And once this moves through, the threat is over for you. So they're slowly starting to trim back that tornado watch as well as this line progresses through. And you can see that here. We've lost some Illinois counties here, Hancock, Henderson County. And the only Iowa counties left are Scott and then up towards Clinton County. And those are going to be allowed to, are going to be canceled here soon as well because the threat is over. So here we are with that line of activity. We continue. That tornado warning that you saw there is down in Fulton County outside of our viewing area, but we continue with this tornado warning here for Henry County until 4 o'clock. And we've got some circulation still being indicated.
And we just got it, Kyle, I don't mean to interrupt, but we have a new tornado warning. So we will continue here until about 4:45 for Carroll and Whiteside County. This has a potential for not only a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado, but also the potential for 1.5 inches hail. So that is hail that is up to the size of ping pong balls. So this is right over the Morrison area, heading off to the east and northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So again, this storm capable of producing a tornado is right around the Morrison area, tracking off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So if you're in Linden, Morrison, Sterling Rock Falls, you need to be in your shelter place right now. We'll go ahead and get a look inside this storm to see where we have that rotation.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Over
that
Morrison,
is strong too.
Right there around Highway 30, pardon me. So just to the east of Morrison proper, that's where we have that rotation.
This is Highway 30 here. So the area of circulation is right there. This is, the warning is north, along and north of I-88 right now. So this, again, what we show here, folks, this is the wind velocity. We don't show this all the time. What this is, it's showing which direction the winds are moving with inside the storm and how fast those winds are. Once we start to see these lighter reds, that indicates winds moving away from the radar site in Moline. The green is winds moving towards the radar. Right there, when you start to see them match up like that right along, again, Kyle, that was Highway 30, right?
Highway 30, yep.
That's Highway 30 right
Bishop
there.
Road.
And that is where, being as tight of a rotation as that is, there could be something on the ground there. That's probably, of all the storms we've seen today, this is certainly the strongest indication of a possible tornado we've seen. So just to the east of Morrison, that is where that threat is. And yeah, look at that thing really spike up here and continues on right there. So Highway 30, it's passing 30. It's probably, as fast as these storms are moving, folks, it's probably, by the time we get the new scans, probably somewhere up in this vicinity. So if we put a track on that, it might skim the northern part of Sterling, but still, Sterling Rock Falls, you need to be in shelter. Here we go. Some of these communities, the Full Gospel Academy, Community General Hospital, Sterling here at 4:15. That's when this will be moving in. Again, very tight indication of circulation. It's north of Linden, north of the I-88 corridor right now, but right here, again, and there's some hail as well with this, so kind of a dual threat. Again, that is a concern right now. Just to the east of Morrison, good indication we could have a tornado there. So you folks over towards Sterling Rock Falls, northeastern Whiteside County, be in your shelters now. And that warning goes until 4:45. So we're going to stay with this as that is not a good indication there, Kyle. And this is closer to that boundary, closer to that low pressure system. So makes sense that we're seeing this one really get going. Drop into the south here. So again, you folks here just to the east of Morrison might even be close enough that maybe some outskirting either subdivisions or homes in the Morrison area might be affected. But you can see here's Highway 30. That circulation right there. And again, probably by now, since we're seeing these storms move to the northeast at 40 to 50 miles an hour, that circulation probably somewhere up here by now. But fast moving storm, it could have a tornado with that. So we're going to keep a,
and there's your update
there we
right
go.
There.
Yeah, that looks, folks, I would say that if we might have a tornado on the ground here just to the northeast of Morrison. So let's see here. I'm having a hard time seeing these. So Hazel Road along and north of Hazel Road right now, that is the area right here is where we're seeing that strong indication of circulation.
Yeah, that's right, Kyle. And again, this is for radar indicated tornado. I'm looking at some debris on a different source here. Doesn't look like we have any debris as detected by radar, but again, this is the potential for a tornado just to the east of Morrison, right there between Hazel Road and Ward Road, heading toward Round Grove Road. Those areas really need to be aware that there could possibly be a tornado here at any moment's notice. And right now, it is 4 o'clock. You're watching KWQC-TV6 in Davenport, Iowa, as we are on the air with wall-to-wall coverage of a tornado warning in effect for portions of Whiteside and Carroll County until 4:45. So normally you would see your 4 o'clock news. That is preempted right now due to severe weather. And we have a continuation of a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And again, we've had ping pong ball to golf ball size hail reported in this storm as well. So we have multiple warnings ongoing.
Yeah, and real quick here, let's stay on this shot here, Kyle, but I want to mention right now the threat is along and east of Linden Road up in Whiteside County. Good indication that there's some circulation there, but again here, folks, we have multiple storms that we need to talk about going north to south here. The most concerning right now continues to be here in Whiteside County with that tornado warning just to the east and maybe to the northeast of Morrison right now. So there that is. You can see a lot of lightning, maybe some hail with that, but there is that circulation here. And here's Linden Road right there. You can see just to the east of that, maybe east of Linden Road and to the north of Hazel Road here, just east-northeast of Morrison. That is the area right there. You can see where that circulation is. We have those reds matching up with those greens. And the structure of this, the way it looks, is here's your winds flowing into the storm and your winds flowing out, and now it's starting to kind of spin a little bit there. I doubt if we go to correlation coefficient,
Yeah, there's nothing showing up. Okay. I've got it pulled up on my phone here, but we just got an update on that warning. It does continue here until 4:45. Still radar indicated, so we don't have any indication of a tornado producing any damage right now. But as you just saw from radar, and as we've been mentioning, just east of Morrison, right around the Malvern area, that's where we have that potential for a tornado. As this storm moves very quickly off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pause on this storm, pull up the relative velocity, and kind of get a little closer look at this. As we were mentioning earlier, it does look like this is going to track just to the north of the Sterling Rock Falls Metro, but I would say if you're in Sterling, still this is going to be a very strong storm. If you're in Milledgeville, stay in your shelter place, lowest level of your home. Of course, that would be the basement. That's the best spot. If you don't have a basement, interior room, such as a closet and maybe a bathroom with no windows, that is going to be the key here as you are sheltering from these storms that, again, have the potential to produce a tornado as well as hail up to the size of ping pongs or golf ball size hail. Just got a report in Henry County where we continue with the severe thunderstorm warning of some nickel size hail in the Galva area. And you can certainly see by radar, this is a very strong storm moving into Galva. So Galva might even get some larger hail out of this. Again, a tornado is possible there in northern portions of Knox County, right around the Oneida area or just to the east of Oneida. We'll get in a little bit tighter here to show you kind of the strongest part of the storm right now around Bishop Hill. So I'm going to take the lightning off. There's lots of lightning with these storms, but it's really this storm that we're concerned about with hail right around Oneida and Altona, tracking up to the north and east toward Galena. This product generally updates a little bit later than the radar, so Galva likely seeing that hail core right as we speak. So that portion of the severe thunderstorm warning does continue here into portions of Henry County. Let's get that up there if we could. There we go, until 4:15. And again, a tornado is also possible in this one. The primary concern is maybe some hail, but there could be a couple of areas of rotation within this little bit of the line. And that's the kind of environment we're in. You know, with these storms kind of converging into multiple line segments, we're concerned for maybe some brief spin ups. So if you have any damage that you need to report after the storms, you could send those our way so we can pass them on to the National Weather Service.
And we've got, thankfully, we've got a lot of people sending stuff in. We really appreciate that. The newsroom is working on kind of dissecting that information. Just to back out a little bit here, we continue with several warnings, folks. We got the severe thunderstorm warning. We'll kind of go from south to north this time. So you folks northeast of Galesburg, you're out of the clear. You're in the clear. You're good. This is past. It's to your northeast now. We continue with a hail threat, but again, we got to watch now as this looks to be more of a bow echo style, a damaging wind threat. But what we can get is just like what we saw a couple weeks ago, where along that line we could get a few spin up type tornadoes. Then also moving into northwestern parts of Bureau County, we've got that storm as well that has had a history of producing. We've had reports of rotation when this was back in the Geneseo area. We have reports of golf ball sized hail in the Orion area. So that is over top of Hoople right now, Walnut, and then probably New Bedford, northwestern portions of Bureau County along Highway 40 moving into Whiteside County. That's going to be an area of concern. Tampico, Prophetstown. Prophetstown, you're out of the clear now, but we continue with this possible tornado here near just to the northeast of Morrison. And it looks like it's now, we still have a good circulation there. We'll pin that out here for you. It's not as tight as it was down near Morrison, but you can still see here we got these reds and greens matching up. That is circulation there. That's winds moving in different directions close to each other. And so right now, that threat remains kind of here almost on the edge of this warning. So I would say for right now, if you're in Sterling Rock Falls, it looks like the main area of concern is going to go to your north. It looks like they just trimmed that back a little bit to not include Sterling anymore. So good news there. Sterling, Rock Falls, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning, but that tornado warning now continues here in this vicinity. It's pretty much over rural areas right now. But hey, we know a lot of people out there that have farmsteads out there, and you folks are under the gun now. So again, we continue with that possible circulation there, along with a hail threat. And again, a lot of lightning with this storm.
Yeah, $half size hail possible here with this severe thunderstorm. We've also had history of up to golf ball size hail as well. So we're going to keep an eye on these storms for the hail threat as well as the tornado threat. So as Kyle mentioned, this is they kind of narrowed in on this tornado warning. Now it's out of the Morrison area, Sterling Rock Falls out of the tornado warning. This particular storm was located over Coletta, moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So again, we are keeping a very close eye on this storm near Coletta, just northeast of Morrison, as we continue to get signs of some rotation. Does not look as strong as what it maybe was earlier, but still they're right around White Pigeon. We are concerned for not only the potential of a tornado, but also some very heavy rainfall as well as that hail. So again, this line of storms continues to track off to the east. We'll take you down to Henry County here for this storm right over Galva. Kewanee, you need to stay inside right now. You're about to get pummeled with likely up to 60-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps some hail as well. We've had reports of nickel-size hail in the Galva area. This storm has the possibility to produce at least quarter-size hail as it continues to track off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put a track on this one as well, as it is right now near the Kewanee area, just northeast of Galesburg, tracking off to the east-northeast. So we'll include Princeton in this. It'll be around Princeton at 3:49, but before that, it'll be in Toulon at 4:17, Bradford 4:26, Wyoming just after 4:30, and Depew at 4:48. And we have another picture of hail. Brady, where's this hail picture at? Okay, so this is, we're not sure where exactly this photo came from, but you can see that this is probably quarter to golf ball size hail. And again, the hailstones aren't all coming in on the size of golf balls. They all vary, but some of those larger hailstones could be the size of golf ball, maybe even some ping pong ball size hail. So hopefully we can get a location for this. But let's go back to the radar here where we continue to track these storms as they move off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, and it looks like right now we've got, several storms here. And you see this, these maze looks like a 3-year-old drew up a bunch of lines on our map here. What we've got is we've got got several severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We'll kind of break them down for you, and one tornado warning. So severe thunderstorm warning continues now from north to south here for Carroll County. This is southeastern Carroll County near the Lanark area, getting ready to cross into Ogle County. Chadwick, it's just to your east now around the Route 40 corridor. Milledgeville, you're getting in on all the action now. Area of circulation continues right now near the Penrose Road area and just to the west of Route 40 here in parts of Whiteside County. So you can see that there. It is broad rotation. It does not look as organized as it did down near Morrison, which is certainly some good news, but we want to continue to watch that. Again, tornado watch continues until 8 p.m. So we're going to watch that area. And then heading down to the south here, we've got really, it looks like the storm that is now starting to get its act together is going to be this one here in the Kewaunee area. A lot of lightning. We continue with that tornado possible tag as well. And this is going to be the one, yeah, look at that hail in that. That is some good sized hail.
And that hail's probably over Kewaunee right now.
Yeah, so Kewaunee, Neponset, up towards Tiscoa, Wyanett, Princeton, Sheffield. You folks need to be moving to shelter. There's a little bit of circulation there, yeah. Right now, just outside of Galva, here along North 300th Avenue and maybe towards Midland Road. And an update there, Kyle, that just slid off to the east a little bit. And we continue with a little bit. Yeah, continue. So Kewaunee, you know what? Hey, you're not under a tornado warning, but what's wrong with being safe? I'd move to shelter now. The Goshen Township area, too, that looks something interesting there. Again, along this line, we could have little embedded circulations. We want to keep an eye out for that.
And even up in toward the Hoople area, we're looking at maybe a little bit of rotation on the north side of town there, maybe a little bit heading into Bureau County as well. So again, that's why these severe thunderstorms have, the severe thunderstorm warnings have these tags as tornadoes possible, because they could spin up a tornado at any given moment due to the fact that we are in an environment with a lot of spin in the atmosphere, especially as we have this low pressure and this cold front that's moving through the area. So we're going to continue to really keep an eye on these storms. But as we take a wider view here, again, the reason why we're on air wall to wall is because of this tornado warning here in effect for portions of northern Whiteside County. It does not include Morrison anymore. It does not include Sterling Rock Falls. But nonetheless, extreme southeastern Carroll County and portions of Whiteside County. Again, we've had a history of these producing hail, getting a lot of viewer reports of hail in Orion, but right now our most concern is this severe thunderstorm right now, in this tornado warning rather, in portions of Carroll and Whiteside County. This goes until 4:45 here this afternoon, and let's get another look at velocity here. And again, nothing really tight. It looks like we're kind of getting on the edge of this tornado warning, but if you're in Milledgeville, stay in your shelter place.
Now let's go down to Galva. So I'm really concerned, getting more and more concerned about if we go to reflectivity. Well, we could stay on this product too, but we still see maybe some circulation. But if we go to reflectivity, Kyle, we can show you here what, well, with the lightning there, it's, the lightning is just intense, folks. But we're noticing this really intensifying. Every scan we've seen with radar, it continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And we look at some other products, and we're really seeing a really tight area here just to the south of Kewaunee, maybe some circulation. So I want to continue to watch that storm. But again, we continue with that severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in Kewaunee, get to shelter now. Again, it's best to just be cautious. And we have a tornado possible tag on this. We're in the environment that is conducive for tornadoes, so we want to make sure we hit on that. But again, the main threat right now continues to be hail, and some damaging hail for sure with some of these storms.
And we are getting reports of now quarter-size hail, so that's our threshold for severe hail there in Galva. So that is heading toward Kewaunee and Wethersfield. So again, we are getting several reports on radar of at least 1 inch in diameter hail, and sometimes the radar underdoes the hail size, especially on this product. So we could see hail that is larger than that as well. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this storm between Galva and Kewaunee.
Yeah, and Kyle, the one thing too here is that we're noticing on this hail tracker, look how broad this hail core is. I mean, that's huge. That's a big area that is seeing, it's from the northern portion of Knox County all the way up into the Kewanee area. Heads up Kewanee, it's coming your way. So this is some big time hail here. Severe thunderstorm warning continues here for Knox County up into Henry County, into Bureau County, the western half of Bureau County, northern part of Stark County. And then we got some more warnings here still, parts of northwestern Bureau County to include this storm here. So just a mess of warnings. We continue with that tornado warning here into Whiteside County as well.
Yes, and the latest update there is that this is still radar indicated, so that's good news. We have not had any reports of any damage out of this, but we do continue with that potential for some broad rotation there just to the south of Milledgeville, about to cross County Road 40 there, right around Tampico Road. So again, some broad rotation, kind of getting a little bit muddled up here on the radar, but this storm also has the potential to produce some hail as well as some gusty wind, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with this warning as it's kind of getting close out of the polygon. So perhaps we want to get ready for the 4 o'clock news to join in if they do cancel this warning a little bit earlier as it's about to move out of the TV6 viewing area. But we continue with that severe thunderstorm warning as we were just mentioning in portions of Henry and Bureau County. Again, a slew of warnings here as we continue with this strong line of storms. It's almost about to converge into one larger line here. All of this has the potential to produce damaging wind, large hail, quarter to golf ball size, pardon me. And again, we're watching circulations along this line for that potential of a tornado. So again, that tornado watch is going to continue here until 8 o'clock, especially for areas near and east of the Mississippi River, Kyle.
Okay, so we have a spotter right now here in northwestern Bureau County near the New Bedford area. Let's jump over to radar real quick here, and we're going to see they're seeing a wall cloud here. And again, once we get, and this is fine, we could take max 2. So I'll go out and skirt that up a little bit more to the north here. But you can see, we'll get to the New Bedford storm here in just a second, but this is an area, you see all these pinks and real dark colors, that's where we're seeing that hail. But you can see how, and here's an update coming through, how this is starting to turn into more of a bowing push of air, and Kyle's got something here.
Yeah, we've got max 1 up, Kyle, so we can see that storm in New Bedford.
So I've got right now, we've got a spotter out here that is watching this, and right in this vicinity, there is no tornado warning right now, but he is seeing a rotating wall cloud. And what a wall cloud is, it's pretty much the stage before a tornado. The cloud starts to lower, starts to really pull in some of that, we call it inflow, some of that warm air to feed the updraft. And he's near New Bedford, so he's probably, I would say, looking in this vicinity right here, and that's where he's seeing that. This is going to be west of Normandy, right along the Route 40 corridor here. So this area, so we want to watch that. Again, tornadoes are possible. Just because there is no tornado warning, you want to take these warnings seriously. So just northwest of New Bedford here, getting ready to cross into parts of Whiteside County, southwest of the Deer Grove area. We have a spotter there that is watching this rotating wall cloud. We're going to let our friends at the National Weather Service know that we've got sight on that, and we continue with that threat. So again, moving into eventually maybe the Tampico area, we want to watch that area as we could have a developing circulation there.
And, you know, it's those circulations that we've been keeping a very close eye on, and that's why our severe weather tags have included that possibility of a tornado, even though it's not a tornado warning. So it's very important, especially in this type of environment, to treat these severe thunderstorm warnings as if they are tornado warnings. So, again, you can see some clusters of storm just by looking at the lightning, at these storms just really gaining strength as they move into this really juicy environment. I apologize for using juicy, but it is what it is. We've got some humid air, some warm air in place. So really over Kewanee, we're likely getting some pretty decent sized hail as this moves off to the east toward Osceola as well as Neponset. So if you're in those areas, just stay in your shelter place. Again, treat this as if it is a tornado warning because we could have some embedded areas of circulation, maybe just to the north of Kewanee there around North 200th Avenue.
Yeah, look at that. Starting to, I would say, west of Neponset there, we see these what we call inflow notches. And what it is, again, folks, what we're looking at here is velocity. So right where Kyle Keel has circled there, you see that? That is indicating that we've got winds. The green is winds moving towards the radar site. Radar is right now up here in Davenport, so in the Quad Cities. So the green is those winds rushing into the storm. That's the inflow, and the red is winds rushing out. It's not very organized, But when we start to see them match up and you kind of see that green start to kind of inject into the storm a little bit, shows that we could have a little bit of a circulation. So something we want to watch. So Neponset, up the Route 34, Route 6 corridor here in western Bureau County, eventually off towards Wyanett, then Princeton. You folks should move to shelter. Again, on top of the threat of maybe a circulation, maybe some rotation or a tornado, really, the hail is big enough you want to be inside with this thing. You don't want to be outside. Heavy rain, a lot of lightning, nasty, nasty storm getting ready to move into Bureau County as we speak.
And the Geneseo Police Department, of course, these are the same storms that moved through Geneseo here relatively not too long ago. The viaduct on College Avenue is impassable. So if you're using that to get to your destination this evening, you want to avoid that right now. That was posted by the Geneseo Police Department. So now we're getting some reports of impassable roads as this severe thunderstorm continues to move through Kewanee, east of Anawan, heading into Bureau County. So Neponset, you're getting some heavy rain right now. The strongest part of the storm is going to continue to move into your area. In fact, I want to take a look at the hail core right now, right over Kewanee. And again, this hail core is delayed a little bit, but I'll put this on a loop here over the last hour or so, and you can certainly see that hail core has really not budged much between Galva and Kewanee. So this is going to continue to move off to the northeast into Bureau County, right around the Neponset area. So be prepared for some hail, be prepared for some gusty wind, potentially 50 to 60 miles per hour. We just got a new tornado warning now, just as I was talking, until 4:45 for Bureau and Henry County. This is for a radar indicated tornado, the severe thunderstorm capable of producing the tornado located over Kewanee, moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So as Kyle was just mentioning, east of Kewanee, especially right there along East 300th Street, around North 750th Avenue, that's where we have this broad rotation, and this is where we have that potential of a tornado right along Kentville Road. So if you are in Neponset, we've been talking about Neponset here for a while, be in your shelter place, as we now have a tornado warning until 4:45 here for portions of Henry County, including Kewanee, and heading into Bureau County. So I'm going to put a track here on that area of rotation as it moves off to the northeast here at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. This is good news. We don't have a lot of towns popping up, but Bureau Valley High School, that's where you need to make sure you are in your shelter place. Neponset, make sure you're in your shelter place. Kewanee, even though the strongest part of the storm is kind of getting off to your east, stay in your shelter place, because now we have that possibility of a tornado here into Henry County, heading into Bureau County. So that now puts us at one tornado warning, because that tornado warning in northern Whiteside County has now been canceled due to the fact that we're not seeing that potential of rotation. So we've been keeping an eye on this storm, Kyle, and it continues to show some signs of strengthening.
Yes, and we've got, I want to thank Burke Whittington. He is just to the south of Neponset here. He's got eyes on this, watching it, and he's noticing several little, what he's calling tags, dropping down and rotating. So just to the south of Neponset is where this is. Look at that right there. Really seeing a spike. This is near the Osceola area here in Stark County. So folks know where the Kentville Road is. Kentville Road runs right through here, southern Bureau County. So yeah, right there. So it's going to be along and south of the Kentville. Here, and I'm going to turn to another monitor here and see and get another crossroads. So eventually moving maybe just to the south of Neponset, but again, this is moving to the northeast. So you folks in Tiscowa, heads up, this is heading towards you. Does this include Princeton? Is this
I don't believe so.
Okay, no. So just to the west, southwest of Princeton, but hey, heads up in Princeton, this is a really tight circulation starting to form here, just on the south side of Osceola. So we want to continue to watch that, but also maybe some redevelopment down here near the Toulon area. So this whole storm does include a little bit of Kewanee, but I could tell you Kewanee, it looks like right now the area of circulation is going to be just to your east. So I would say northern, this little northern block, if you will, of Stark County, north of the Toulon area, maybe towards Bradford here, and then eventually towards Neponset, off towards Tiscowa, Wyanett. You are included under that warning, Wyanett. And then Sheffield, take shelter now.
And we just have a track on this storm as a whole, not necessarily the tornado warned part of the storm, but Kyle was mentioning Princeton. Even though you're not under any sort of warning right now, this storm, which has had a history of producing quarter to golf ball size hail, is continuing to track east with that potential of a tornado, with the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it'll be in Langley around 426, Tiscowa 437, Princeton at 440, Dover at 447, and at 452 in Depew as these storms continue to move off to the northeast at about 35 to 45 miles per hour. So again, this storm has really held its own here over the last hour or so. We really see no weakening in the storm. That's indicative by that cluster of lightning strikes that you see from Neponset to Kewaunee back up to the north just west of Walnut. So again, this tornado warning continues until 4:45. It includes Kewaunee, it includes Neponset, but right now it is getting east of Kewaunee and heading toward the Neponset area. So that tornado warning continues until 4:45, and we continue with the potential for that very large hail up to the size of golf balls in portions of Bureau and Henry County. So just to the west of Princeton, that's where we do have that potential for that golf ball size hail.
Okay, let's take Max 2, please. If we can go to Max 2. What we've got now, something we haven't seen all day, and you can see right here, look at this is called a TVS, or Tornadic Vortex Signature. Good indication that we have a developing tornado here near the Osceola area right now. So you see that spinning. It says early right now, but good indication. That is, again, we don't see this very often. So right now, a concentrated area of rotation really near the Osceola area here, getting ready to cross into Bureau County. If you're in that warning here, so here's Princeton right here. Okay, folks, so Princeton. So Wyanett, Tiscoa, shelter now. Also here towards Sheffield, Neponset. And look at that right there, Kyle. We got several tornadic vortex signatures. We don't see this very often, folks. So now that we have two areas here, one near the Neponset area and then one down here near the Osceola area, we have two tornadic vortex signatures showing up here. This is a very serious situation, folks. You need to take shelter now if you're here in Bureau County. So again, along and north of the Kentville Road here, along Route 34, that obviously turns into Route 6. If you're anywhere in there, if you're a farmstead out there, into any of these small communities here in the southwestern portion of Bureau County, take shelter now. So very concerning situation there.
Yeah, so we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on this storm. Interesting that, oh, there we go. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning here for portions of Stark County, it looks like. So that's not surprising, as Kyle was just mentioning, that we do have that rotation there in northern Stark County heading into southern portions of Bureau County. So Osceola, you're included in that. That goes until 5 o'clock. Bradford, Elmira included in that as well. So we are continuing with that severe thunderstorm warning there. And the tornado warning, of course, continues for portions of Bureau and Henry County. I think the threat for Henry County is winding down quite a bit, as this storm is now getting east of Neponset, where we have that indication of some rotation, as Kyle was just showing you on that different product that we have there. Several little areas of rotation as the storm continues to track off to the north and east. And again, one way that we look at how strong these storms are is just to look at the lightning, and you can see there are several lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. So this storm has had no signs of weakening as it continues to move into a favorable environment for not only the potential of a tornado, but also for some large hail. So that tornado warning continues here. This is about 9 miles east of Kewaunee near Neponset, moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So we're still seeing the potential for maybe some $half size hail, as well as 60 mile per hour winds, and this is radar indicated that we could possibly have a tornado. So nothing has been confirmed, but we're going to keep a very close eye, especially just right around the Neponset area and points off to the east and southeast for that area of rotation and for that potential of a tornado. So yeah, any spotters on this, Kyle?
Yes, I was just going to say we've got spotters on this. Let's go back to Max 2 here. I'm going to go up to the chroma key, and you could see what we're seeing here now is this is the notch, and you can see it matches perfectly, unfortunately, with that area where we have these two tornadic vortex signatures popping up. Route 40 and just to the east is the threat right now. So if you're in southwestern Bureau County, shelter now. Also, again, Tiscoa, you're not exactly in that warning, but hey, this is heading right towards you. This is only strengthening. Right now, the temperature is near 80 degrees in Princeton. It's in the 50s in our Iowa counties. So we have a lot of energy for the storm to work with. And what I'm noticing, what I'm not liking here is that you see this little notch starting to form here where we have a little bit of a deviation of that. That is really starting to get organized. So I'm going to name off some communities here. You might not be under the tornado warning yet, but Tiscoa, Princeton, Wyanett, start moving to your shelter now. This storm is racing off to the northeast at around 40 to 50 miles an hour. Eventually, Hennepin, Bureau Junction, Depew, Hollowayville, Seatonville. You folks should be starting to think about, hey, maybe it might be time to get to shelter. Again, The tornado warning is focused right now for southwestern Bureau County, but we've got these little spinning icons here. Those are what we call tornadic vortex signatures picking up here, one near Neponset and one just to the southeast of Neponset here, really right along the Kentville Road area. So we continue to watch that. If we go back to Max 1, Kyle's got the velocity pulled up here.
And it really matches well with that inflow notch that you were talking about, Kyle, just to the east of Neponset. So right, pretty much almost over County Highway 40 there, County Road 40. So right around 1050 North Avenue as well as County Road 40, 800 East Street. That's where we do have that rotation
this is going to be
to the east of Neponset.
Folks, and this is right there is Sheffield. I don't think it's popping up, but you see right there, I apologize for turning my back to you, but right there, that is Sheffield, Illinois. So Sheffield, get in your shelter now. What I'm really concerned about that right there, crossing into, look at that. That might be a circulation there. The problem is once we get this far out on radar, folks, this is one of the fringe counties for the National Weather Service office. So Bureau County, Quad Cities takes care of, Stark County, Lincoln takes care of in Marshall County. So the radar data is we're not looking at the base of the storm. We're looking a little bit further up in the clouds. So something to take in consideration here. So when we start seeing these really strong rotations, it gets very concerning because it's usually pretty hard to see. But you can see, you got something, Kyle?
Yes, we just got an update in the northern portion of Bureau County. We now have some reports of some 2-inch hail. So that is the size, that's about the size of a hen egg. So 2-inch hail, that's between golf ball and baseball size hail. So not only are we concerned with the tornado in Bureau County, we're concerned for large hail in the northern portion of Bureau County as well. So I'm going to take a look at the hail product here. And actually this might be, this is the part of the county that is under a tornado warning as well as a severe thunderstorm warning. So hail and a tornado are going to be the possibility. I apologize for getting that mixed up.
No, that's okay. You know, folks, this is right here just to the south. Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, we have an observed tornado right now, confirmed tornado near Buda, 12 miles east of Kewanee, moving off to the east at 35 miles per hour.
Folks.
So that's a new tornado warning out until 5:15 for Bureau County.
Let's take a look at that. Let's back that. That's probably going to include, we should see that observed tag. It's not up populating here yet, but we will see that move in. Okay, folks, this is serious now. We have a tornado on the ground. We've been talking about this. I do not like the structure that we're seeing with this storm. You see it's starting to kind of get a little bit more elongated. So folks in Princeton, Tiscoa, I mean, I could tell you right where that tornado is. Tiscoa, get to your basement now. This is a dangerous situation. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground. I would say right now, just here, let's see here, just to the east of Route 40, north of 100 or 1000 North Avenue. So this is going to be, so near Buda. Okay, so folks, right there, that is where we're seeing that area, confirmed tornado on the ground. So you folks need to be moving to your basements now if you haven't done so already. So confirmed tornado here. This is going to be east, just move east of Route 40, right in this vicinity here. So we continue with that tornado warning now. Tornado on the ground here just to the east and southeast of Buda. So east of Kewanee right now. So it looks like north of the Kentville Road. And let's go to Max 2 if we can, control room. Let's take Max 2. And we're continuing with those tornadic vortex signatures. I want to put some towns on here and put a track on. So Kyle, you said that's moving to the east now, correct?
Yes, correct. That is moving off to the east at about, I believe it's moving between 35 and 45 miles per hour.
So if we got Max 2 pulled up here, folks, this is serious stuff, okay? We want you to be moving into shelter now. If you live in any of these communities, so Tiscoa, get to your basements now. Princeton, basement now. Bureau Junction, Depew, Spring Valley. St. Margaret's Hospital in Spring Valley. Also towards Hennepin, northern parts of Putnam County. I know it's out of our viewing area, but we've got viewers down there. You can see right now we've got 2 tornadic vortex signatures matching up right to where we have that confirmed tornado. This is a dangerous situation for you folks right now in the southern half of Bureau County right now. So again, this is going to be just to the east of Kewanee. We're going to put some streets on here. Again, I think most concerning right now is you folks in Tiscoa, eventually over towards Bureau Junction. You need to be in shelter now.
So we got Max 1 with the streets pulled up, Kyle. So this is just east of County Road 40 there, right around, looks like 1100. Actually, we just got the update there. Again, a tightening rotation. This is an observed tornado right now in portions of Bureau County, right around the Buda area, heading off to the east and northeast. So this is right over, looks like 1200 North Avenue as well as 1200 East Street there in portions of Bureau County. So this is very concerning for Princeton as we kind of back this up here over the last hour or so. It is showing that signs of a northeastward movement. So if you're in Princeton, I don't believe you're technically in that warning right now, but take the storm seriously because this is about to cross I-80 here within the matter of minutes as we now have a confirmed tornado doing some damage here in portions of Bureau County near the Buda area, Kyle.
Yeah, really tightening rotation here. Is this storm relative velocity, Kyle?
I do not believe so. There we go. We got storm
okay. Oh, yeah.
right
so
here.
look at this right here, folks. So this is it right now. This is that confirmed tornado. Here we are. I believe that is Buda there. Is that Buda?
I believe so,
okay,
yes.
so we've got Buda, Illinois right here. Here's Route 40. Just to the east of Buda here. This is the area. Again, what we're looking at here, I know it looks like a Christmas tree. The green is winds moving towards the radar. And that radar is to the west here in the Quad Cities. The red is winds moving away. Once we start seeing these match up and get brighter and stronger next to each other, very good indication that we have a tornado. That's what we're seeing right now here, just to the east of Buda. This continues to move off to the east, maybe to the northeast. It is going to impact areas like Tiscoa, Wyanett, and eventually Princeton. So we continue with that tornado warning.
And Kyle, I want to pull up, okay, maybe it's not indicating that. This is our debris tracker, so we're looking really for anything that's not precipitation related. This is just some clutter there that you see near the Tiscoa area, but we're looking for the possibility of any wood being lofted in the air, any sort of debris. Not quite seeing that here, at least based on our radar, but I'm looking at another source, and there might be something there just northeast of Buda indicating maybe some debris being wafted into the air from this tornado. So we know for a fact that there is a tornado doing damage here just to the northeast of Buda. And again, this storm is heading off to the northeast. I'm just going to go ahead and put a track on this outside of the polygon because it's almost outside of the polygon. So if you're in the Princeton area, you got about 10 to 15 minutes before this gets to Princeton.
Yes, so Princeton, you need to be in shelter now. Princeton, Wyanett, get to your basements, Tiscoa as well. This area of rotation, if we can flip back to velocity, Kyle, I'd like to show this here because there it is, folks. So Princeton, shelter now. I must say, this looks like we could have a tornado on the ground again. A couple frames ago, it looked like it weakened, but now, right here, here's Wyanett right here. If you are in Wyanett, you need to be in your basements now. Here's Route 34, Route 6, just to the south of Wyanett, southwest of Wyanett, not by much. That is the area where we're seeing this very tight circulation getting ready to cross into Wyanett. So Wyanett and Princeton, get to your basements now. This is a very dangerous storm that has a history of producing tornadoes. We've had confirmed reports of tornadoes. So right now the threat is east of Route 40, just to the south of Route 6, but heading to the northeast. I hate to say it, folks, but Princeton, this is heading beeline, center line for Princeton. If you live in Princeton, you need to be in your shelters right now.
And Kyle, as you mentioned, this kind of has been cycling. The latest report that we have from the National Weather Service is that this is radar indicated. But as you mentioned, this latest scan of the velocity is showing that this storm might be strengthening again as it tracks off to the north and east. So treat this as if there is a tornado doing damage right now as we continue with that history of a tornado, as well as quarter to golf ball size hail out of this storm here in Bureau County that continues to track off to the north and east. So hopefully, I'm sure in just a few moments we should get an update from our friends at the National Weather Service if they're going to extend this tornado warning a little farther off to the
we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning here. Waiting on, I'm assuming that we'll get a new tornado warning here as well. But they have a severe thunderstorm warning with the damage threat considerable. This is going to be for hail, close to golf ball sized hail here. This is for Bureau and Putnam counties. But again, folks, we continue with this area of circulation here on the southern fringe of this storm near the Buda area, near the Wyanett area, rather. So again, Wyanett and Princeton, I know you folks in Wyanett, you are under that warning, but you folks in Princeton quite aren't under that warning yet. But we continue to see that this potential for a tornado here we're noticing a lot of rotation here on radar as well. And local storm report here, this was back in the Orion area of hen egg-sized hail. That's some huge hail.
2 inches in diameter.
Yep, so that'll do damage.
These storms have had a history of producing the hail, so we've had multiple threats as these storms move through. So with that new warning out that includes the Princeton area, I'm going to put a track on this storm as it continues to produce the possibility of some 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as hail up to the size of golf balls. This new warning goes until 5:15, and the towns include Princeton. The storm is on the western side of the town right now. Lamoille around 444, Arlington at 448, Depew 450, Mendota getting just a little outside of our viewing area at 454 rather, and close to the top of the hour there in Spring Valley. So again, that tornado warning does continue here until 5:15 for portions of Bureau County. So we'll have to see if the Weather Service continues that tornado warning. It looks like they might have just pushed this severe thunderstorm warning out for the entire storm itself, but that tornado warning part of the storm is something that we're keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, and what we're seeing here, Kyle, is we'll stop the animation here for a second. What we're noticing is really along this whole line, this whole storm itself, we're getting little pockets of rotation to develop and develop quickly, and then it might dissipate in one area and reorganize in another. So this whole area, I would say from Princeton off towards the west here along Route 6, that is pretty much right over top of Wyanett at this time. And I know that black line you see there, that's that tornado warning, and this is starting to get on the outside of it. I would expect to see that extension of that warning here very soon. Every product that we're looking at, we continue to see some pretty strong rotation. Let's move a little bit further to the east here too. This might be just some bad data, but just to the south of Princeton, but maybe some strong gusty winds with that as well.
For sure.
So we want to watch that. But and then again too, what we're also looking at here might be back here, again, redevelopment happening. Nonetheless, we have, again, the potential for a tornado still exists. We still have that tornado warning here until 5:15. But for this whole storm, we can see up to golf ball sized hail, damaging winds, a lot of lightning, and that hail core is getting ready to move into Princeton up towards the Route 34 corridor here. So Malden, Dover, Arlington, Zeering, you folks shelter now as the storm is heading your way. Again, Wyanett is right here, Route 34, Route 6 here into Princeton. Princeton down towards Tisqua. Wyanett, we've given you a lot of warning here, Wyanett, so heads up to you. Heading off to the northeast here, eventually into northeastern parts of Bureau County, Lamoille, over towards eastern Bureau County, might even get into the Spring Valley area. Bureau Junction, Depew, Seatonville, Hollowayville, you folks should be taking shelter now. But again, most concerning right now continues to be this area of circulation here, pretty much over top of Wyanett. Yeah, Wyanett right there. And you can see here along Route 6 right now, so Wyatt Hills Golf Course out there, that's where that circulation is. And also right here is going to be the rest area here off of I-80. So right now, that's where that circulation continues. Again, folks, it's going to be heading right into Princeton. We want to warn you here, folks, in Princeton, you need to be in shelter now. Again, I'm expecting that we'll see this extension on this warning here very soon.
Yeah, I'm surprised the warning that's in place right now has not been canceled since that rotation is outside of the polygon. But hey, let's treat this as if it's a tornado warning because you have that possibility for not only a tornado, but definitely those strong winds, and that hail core is headed toward Princeton as well, as we've had a history of anywhere from quarter to golf ball size hail reported out of this storm that continues to move through Bureau County, through the Neponsit area rather. Again, history of producing 1 inch to 2 inch size hail. That's 1 inch to 2 inch in diameter. So we're going to continue to watch this area of rotation just to the west of Princeton, because it continues to look very concerning here on radar. So severe thunderstorm warning does continue here for hail that is up to the size of baseballs now.
Baseball-sized hail. Okay, so this, folks, we'll stay on for this. Kyle, real quick here, I'm noticing a new development of circulation here again off to the southwest portion, back more towards the Bureau Stark County line. Let's check velocity. See, we got a velocity tag, a early TVS showing up with that. So we'll continue to watch that. But folks, now the story is going to be, we got that rotation we continue to watch, but now, folks, baseball-sized hail moving into Princeton. If you're in Princeton, treat this like a tornado warning. Move indoors now. This is a very dangerous situation. You can see that hail core right over top of Princeton. So again, folks, baseball-sized hail is now getting ready to move into Princeton If you're in Princeton, off towards Dover, here's Dover up here, Malden, Zeering, we got Arlington there as well, Lamoille. You folks need to be moving indoors now. Get to shelter now. Treat this like a tornado warning. Again, I'm still seeing some indication of rotation within the storm as well. We continue with the possibility that we could see some additional warnings with that. Might be going a little bit broader on that rotation and maybe just to the northwest of Princeton. But again, the way these storms have been evolving, very, I won't say odd, but that's kind of the way they've been, is where we'll see an area of circulation maybe here, and then in the next scan, that area of circulation is down further southwest. Something that we do typically see sometimes with these storms. But again, Princeton, shelter now. With the warnings we've been given here for Bureau County, folks, nobody should be out driving in this. If you are, I mean, it could be deadly. Baseball-sized hail now moving into the Princeton area.
Yes, and that's based on radar, the baseball-sized hail, but we've had a history of getting 1 to 2 inch in diameter hail reports out of this storm. And based on that hail core that we saw, again, we should get an update here momentarily. I'm sure we're going to see some brighter colors pop up here as this severe storm moves into the Princeton area. So there we go. There's that tornado warning that continues here until 5:15. We'll see if that gets dropped here. I'm assuming it will very quickly. But again, we continue with this severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Bureau and Putnam County until 5:15 for baseball-sized hail as well as wind up to 70 miles per hour. Have not had any confirmed reports of wind that strong or hail that large, but based on radar, we are seeing that potential for that very large hail. And again, hail has really been kind of I don't want to use popular, but the most concerned threat that we've seen out of these storms, in addition to that possibility for a tornado. So we continue to watch that rotation pretty much right over the Princeton area, especially northwest side of town, about to cross Interstate 80. So right there around Backbone Road, that's where we are concerned about that rotation. And fortunately, the tornado warning has now been canceled here for Bureau County, which makes sense because that rotation is now out.